The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Good evening, this is Saturday's news. In this edition, relief supplies reach island communities. Mothers surviving tough times, and hunters be the competition leaders. Of 500,000 kina worth of relief supplies are being distributed to the New Ireland province. New Ireland Governor Byron Chan has assured the continuation of relief supplies currently underway in affected areas of New Ireland, facing the effects of the Category 4 Cyclone Myla. From the 500,000 kina allocated by the Department of Defence, both Kavieng and Namatanai districts received 200,000 kina worth of basic food items, while 100,000 kina to hardware supplies. Each affected ward has been allocated 3,200 worth of food items apart from further assistance of canvases, cooking pots and water rations. After the first respondent, Dr. Barry Kirby, the Rotary Club of Boroko, together with community donors in Alatau, its partner supporters and sponsors announced that as of the afternoon of 16th April 2026, relief assistance successfully reached Budi Island in Milne Bay Province following devastation caused by Cyclone Myla. This milestone was achieved through the supply of dry goods to an appeal created and coordinated by Team Able of Discover, Milne Bay and its network to support communities severely impacted by the cyclone. Approximately 3 tons of essential food supplies were quickly procured and designated from the most affected island communities in Milne Bay. Dr. Barry confirmed that they will need food supplies for the next 12 months as the damage destroyed gardens and shelters. At the same time, Rotary Corporate Corps based in Arawa, Bougainville has also been actively engaged, working tirelessly to support disaster relief operations in the Bougainville region. Several mothers in a low-lying island, Budi in Milne Bay Province, were due to deliver during the month of the Category 5 tropical cyclone Myla. First respondent to the cyclone Myla was Dr. Barry Kirby, who travelled at the first opportunity he got to these areas last week, Tuesday, and saw how bad it really was. Budi, according to Dr. Barry, was the most impacted island in Milne Bay.
The impact of Cyclone Myla can only be told accurately by people like the first respondent, Dr. Barry Kirby, who had seen and witnessed the devastation after Category 5 tropical cyclone Myla had caused, especially in the low-lying islands like Budi. Hands of Rescue medical Dr. Barry Kirby told this newsroom of the situation on the ground in Budi and shared that his main concern is mothers, as he had seen for himself several mothers who were due to deliver during Cyclone Myla. A mother happened to give birth on the day of the devastation.
My main concern would be the mothers and children there, and I know on Budi in particular, which is the 45 mile the other side of Woodlark. There were several mothers there due to deliver this month, at the end of this month. And you're looking at, well, by the time it hit there, it was a Category 4. But it was in that area for a long, long time. So, yeah, that was my main concern.
The hands of rescue got to those areas the moment they got the opportunity after the cyclone and saw firsthand the impact through the Havilland Beaver aircraft.
So, when we got to Buddy Buddy, we did a fly past it low, just following the beaches around. And my co-pilot was sitting in the back at this time doing the videoing. She could see that there were people on the beach with outstretched hands and almost pleading for help. So she got that feeling that these people are really in need. We could see a lot of flattened gardens, roofs blown off houses, and bush material dwellings that were just flattened. Some people were actually running around naked. I don't know if their clothes had all been blown away or what have you. But yeah, we did get a report when we eventually did get a boat in there that 70% of the houses on that island were destroyed.
This is in Buddy Buddy?
In Buddy Buddy itself. 70% of those houses were destroyed. There were some animals were washed away, some animals survived. The other islands had knee-deep of seawater flowing over them at the time. So you can imagine it would have been pretty scary for a lot of people.
Dr. Berry said amazingly nobody was injured, and in one scenario there was one mother who delivered on the day the cyclone hit the island. He said that this shows how resilient mothers are in the island communities no matter the weather. Susan Oreape, TVWAN News.
Family members of Tapini LLG President Buni Morua were evicted yesterday at Laloki Bridge in the National Capital District. The eviction follows a court order from German lawyers.
About 37 people, all family members of Buni Morua, have been left homeless after police went in with an excavator and demolished their homes, including 3 makeshift and permanent houses. The local level government president of Tapini in Goilala District, Central Province, was disappointed with the eviction exercise carried out in the area without any prior eviction notice. Morua says he has been living on the block portion 638 for over 40 years. He bought the land from a traditional landowner in 1983 from Tom Tauru. The land ownership has then transferred to John Tauru, who is Tom's son. The Tapini local level government president says that over the years he had not heard about Harry Henny or any idea he had the title to this portion of land, and questioned the legitimacy of the title.
Tom Tauru was the owner in 1983. Records tablo lands department. Beginning blend time Papa died 2026. You got a title. I'm getting title again. I'm John Tauru. I'm getting transfer through law curators. Now another process law. Getting title. And then now this eviction come up and making me confused because honestly didn't come up. Who cite them legitimate land title order?
Morua said he will pursue this in court to find out who is the rightful owner of the land. He said as far as he knows, he bought the land from the traditional owner and there is no way someone would have a legal right on this portion of land.
But any area from nowhere, I'm kissing title after John Tauru died and that's all I'm confused now. Now, my stand here is to question legitimacy, our title of kissing. When I'm processed through all kissing. I'm go through the way the normal process the governments are working no because state properties so am I going to create a taxim or am go someone.
The new title holder Harry Henny is believed to have bought the land through the land department and has the title. Police who provided security during the eviction said they are only executing orders and have no say. Susan Oreape, TVWAN News.
TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Hiya, Mama.
You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time for kimchi and a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, PNG é minha. Buying PNG made.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's One Talk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's One Talk Wallet. PSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Grab a Coca-Cola and enjoy the moment.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
Help stop the spread of germs and protect your loved ones with Protex. Here are some simple hand washing tips. Use soap or liquid hand wash. Vigorously scrub hands in circular motion. Scrub in between fingers and nails. Do not forget the back of the palm and around the wrist. Rinse with clean running water. Dry hands with a clean paper towel or cloth. Protex. Clean hands, good health.
Welcome back. Shane Oliver, Chief Economist at AMP, says as long as the Strait of Hormuz remains open to risk of global recession, will quickly start to recede.
Bring in Shane Oliver, who is Chief Economist at AMP. Shane, hi there. Thanks for joining us. What's your take on what happened to prices, oil prices overnight?
Well, certainly good news. Don't forget we were told about a week and a half ago that the Strait would reopen. That didn't happen. Now it looks like it is going to happen, but obviously it's still come with qualifications. But the bottom line is the oil price has fallen another notch. And providing we do start to see a full reopening of the Strait, then we will start to see oil start to flow globally again. And that will come in the nick of time, because don't forget the clock was ticking here. Yes, oil refineries across Asia had been still churning out the same amount of fuel roughly, but if this crisis continued, then they would have to start cutting back, and eventually that would impact Australia. So I think this is certainly very good news. It does, providing it continues and the Strait does fully reopen, it does mean that the risk of global recession will quickly start to recede.
Northern Territory councils say they may be forced to raise rates and cut services if new local government power price hikes come into effect as planned later this year. Council executives say services like library and pool hours and crime prevention measures such as street lighting may have to be reduced to cope with the costs.
A city council weighing up having to turn down the lights.
Well, you look at the cost of electricity in relation to running our libraries, running our pools, the lighting of ovals at night for sporting events, things like that, for kids training out there. So all of these services may have to be reduced.
Darwin City Council considering drastic service cuts and rate rises to deal with a planned hike in local government power prices due to start from July.
The time that the lights are on may have to be reduced so that we meet our budgets. we are unable to go into deficit, so we have to cut services to meet our budget.
The change to council electricity tariffs, an NT government budget measure announced last year, which some say have not been properly communicated to those impacted.
We don't want to read about it in a media release. I think what we need is proper consultation with our councils.
Remote communities could be hit by the changes worst of all, with local government leaders warning cuts to family and youth programs are already being discussed as possible ways to offset rising power prices.
It's the people on the ground that actually will suffer.
The Darwin City Council says the power price hikes will also make it more difficult to support the Territory Government in its key election mandate, crime prevention.
We provide the street lighting, the park lighting, the walkway lighting, and if we can't have those lights on because we need to change service delivery levels, then it directly affects the community.
The council wants the price plan to be deferred for at least a year. The NT government did not respond by deadline to requests for comment.
Truckloads of plates, forks and food waste from the National Folk Festival are being turned into fertilizers on a Braidwood farm to divert tons of organic waste from landfill.
It looks like illegal dumping, but for this fifth-generation cattle farmer, it's future fertiliser.
People used to think of it as rubbish, but nearly everything can be compostable. Before the folk festival had to pay to take it to a tip, and then it got buried in the ground where it produced methane that's not helping the planet. I take it for free and we turn it into a fertiliser that's then feeding my soil and feeding my cows.
The carbon-rich cardboard packaging is mixed with nitrogen-rich frass. That's the technical term for insect poo. A light spray of microbial inoculant, basically beneficial microorganisms, then supercharges the mix and kick-starts the composting process. And after a year, it's almost unrecognisable. With fertiliser availability fraught in the current crisis, recycling advocate Jerry Gillespie says the logic is hard to argue with.
It's an absolute no-brainer. Depending on what material stream you're talking about, it's somewhere between 60 and 70% is organic material if you include paper and cardboard.
Since 2022, all festivals and events in the ACT have been required to use only compostable packaging. But without facilities to process this waste, it isn't always composted. For this festival, what was a costly liability is now boosting soil fertility.
Soils for Life did an in-depth study of Jillamatong, and they found that our cost of production had dropped dramatically and our production had actually increased. It's a win-win-win situation. It's a plate to paddock to plate. It's a classic circular economy.
From festival trash to a farmer's treasure.
Sports is next. I'll join you on the other side. Don't go away.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, PSP's One-Took Wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at PSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Talks, to our family, to the ones we love. PSP's One-Took Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
Show the dishes who's boss. Fight mess with Axion, the tough grease stripper. 100% effective at doing the dirty work. The triple active power breaks down tough grease, and its antibacterial formula leaves dishes squeaky clean. Get tough on grease. Get Axion.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Grab a Coca-Cola and enjoy the moment.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
In sports, Port Moresby Vipers have defeated PRK Gulf ISO 18-12 in a closely contested Digicel ExxonMobil Cup match at the Santos National Football Stadium. Both sides showed courage in the opening half, with Vipers taking a narrow 12-6 lead into the break.
Here we go.
KRL Hospital Cup round 6.
Vipers second rower Joseph Cora opened the scoring in the 4th minute of the first half, crossing for the first try of the match.
15 away from the line. Ila Alu working overtime. The captain across. Joel Geta sends it back to the side.
Benji caught. He's over.
The
home side looked dominant in the opening 20 minutes and added another try through Ismail Wayake.
Wow, just like that.
With halfback Ben Fege successfully converting to extend the lead.
Vision. Uzin strikes it.
Coming into the match, both teams had recorded wins in round 1, with Gulf ISO having defeated PRK Mandy Muruks in their season opener. ISO struggled to maintain their game plan in the first half, committing several costly errors inside Vipers' territory. However, they managed to respond in the 28th minute when winger Norman Brown crossed out wide, with debutant Bradley Orasombo adding the extras to keep his side within the reach. Gulf ISO returned strongly after halftime and lifted the intensity in attack. Their persistence paid off in the 60th minute when Tom Jones crossed the line to level the scores at 12-all.
Oh, hang on.
Hang on. With the match in the balance, the Vipers responded in the final quarter with a decisive try to Benjamin Boas.
He's heading for the line. That was Benjamin actually.
Ben Fege added the conversion to give the Vipers an 18-12 lead. The speed of Vipers backs Jeremiah Ben, John Bang and Manasseh Watt created pressure in the closing stages and helped set up the match-winning try. The Vipers held on in the final minutes to secure a hard-fought 18-12 victory over Gulf ISO at the National Football Stadium. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN Sports.
Bradley Orasambo, a promising young halfback in the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup competition, made an impressive debut and showed great potential. The young talent, who was raised in East Taraka in Ley, has built a strong record during his rugby league career over the past few years. Stepping in for Felix Becky, Orasambo said earning his place in the team was not easy, but he accepted the challenge with courage. During the match, he finished with an 80% kicking rate, converting 2 from 3 attempts. After the match, he thanked everyone who had supported him in his rugby league journey as he looks forward to more games ahead. Papua New Guinea SPPNG Hunters have secured their first win on home soil after defeating the Host Plus Cup competition leaders Ipswich Jets in a close contest, 26 points to 24 at the Santos National Football Stadium in Port Moresby. After trailing by 8 points in the first half, they came out in the second half with sparkling energy to prove to their home crowd with a win. Hunter centre Bruce Bawase sent his side to the victory with his hat-trick try in a second half. Hunter's coach Paul Aiton revealed that his side always has this never-say-die attitude that boosts their performance in every low point in their game.
Working overtime, the captain across. Joel Gennett sends it back on the inside.
Benji caught. He's over.
Benji Cook. We're back underway from the boot of Benton Byra. Sonny Wabo stepping through, gets right through the defense, support that inside, as he got the legs. He's going to go all the way. The Hunters have gone bang, bang. Mbai. The short ball away. Too easy in the end again.
Too easy. That was. Let's see what they can do.
Good hands. So they got numbers on that right edge. Another easy try here. The second tackle. Here's the last. Comes back to Mbai again. What can he do this time? Oh, beautiful
He
play.
just took that.
Trevisulu, dummy half. Sends it long, Mavoko. Here they come. This time, Bawase runs back and field. He will score. Bruce Bawase slams it down.
So set restart for the Hunters.
Here they come. Gena. Good support play. Footwork.
Numbers, Chris Bawase.
Chris Bawase.
Oh, yeah. He's got over.
Comes back to Mahoko. Nice work here from the PNG Hunters. Finding Bawase, the go-to man. Oh, he goes right through.
Go, Bruce Bawase.
He's going for a hat-trick this afternoon.
That's it, hat-trick this afternoon.
9 PNG national boxers are currently in Fiji, competing in the Pacific Nations Cup as they continue preparations for upcoming international assignments. The two-day tournament, which began yesterday, is being staged at FFM Stadium in Suva and concludes today.
Team PNG, made up of 5 male and 4 female fighters, made a promising start to the competition yesterday. PNG Boxing Union President Dr. Gideon Kendino says 8 of the 9 boxers have already stepped into the ring, recording 4 wins and 4 losses. He described the result as a mixed start, but is confident the team can finish the tournament on a positive note. Kendino said this was an even start for PNG, but they are still in a strong position to win the tournament. He further said learning from yesterday's performances, the team has made the necessary adjustments and is hopeful of better outcomes when the competition wraps up. The Pacific Nations Cup is an important lead-up event for the PNG boxers as they build towards the Kokoda Cup next month. It also forms part of their preparation for the Commonwealth Games qualifiers scheduled for July. Boxers representing PNG at the tournament are Kia Gunuamua, Leontine Kevau, Liranda Jemima, Naki Saguba, Petronella Noke Noke, Kendo Stephen James, Paul Bede Michael, and Flora Kisala Loga. The team is expected to complete its campaign later today as they aim to finish strongly and gain valuable international experience ahead of the Kokoda Cup in May. Susan Oreape, TVWAN Sports.
A kickboxer from Imbongu in Southern Highlands Province is aiming for the stars in the last man standing semi-professional tournament in Port Moresby this Saturday. Kingston David aims to give his best and make a cut in the final national team. One-time international kickboxer Kingston David is reeling from his embarrassing defeat in Australia last year and is aiming to redeem himself in this tournament. He said this tournament presents him the opportunity to prove himself against the best in Port Moresby and NCD and earn a selection into the national team. Fighting under Desert Storm Kickboxing Club, run by two-time world champion Nelson Sampson, the young kickboxer warned that he will leave everything on in the ring and his opponents must expect nothing less than a real combat from him.
I'm ready to war, big or small, experience or inexperience. If you come across the face with me, we go for war.
He further noted that Stanley Nandex is his role model and he wants to be like Nandex, competing in the world events and make name for himself.
I want to be a Myla Shetty legacy Blumi. And I want to be a champion, not in PNC, but in other parts of the whole country. And then I want to be a role model from PNC.
The last man standing kickboxing tournament tomorrow is a PNG Kickboxing Federation sanctioned semi-professional tournament and will showcase a lot of fighting actions. The tournament comprises 25 boxers in 3 divisions. It starts at 8 a.m. and ends in the afternoon at the Sir John Guy Stadium on Saturday. And now the weather forecast. Southern Port Moresby, cloudy periods with brief showers. Daru, partly cloudy. Mamase, rain showers and thunderstorms. Madang, rain showers and possible thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Kokopo Rabao, cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorms. Buka, partly cloudy with some showers. And Highlands, Goroka, Bands and Kundiawa, cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Mandi, Tari and Barbeg, cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And that wraps up Saturday's news. Have a pleasant week and good night.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by